Welcome to the season 3 premiere of Unholy Vibes. Today we have a very special guest joining us, just as, if not more special than all the guests before.
Wow, okay.
Today I have with me my dear friend Carli Collins, who is the wonderful wife of my buddy Cam, who was one of the last episodes of season 2, the possession story. So, for those of you who have been keeping up, you know that Cam had a great story, and today Carli's ready to share a story or two with us, and I'm very excited. So, Carli, tell us who you are, what you do, what your deal is.
What
Just
my deal
introduce
is.
yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll dive in, and I'll do my best to save my questions for last,
Okay.
but no dice. We're just chit-chatting.
Yeah.
We're chitting and we're chatting.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you for having me. I'm such a fan. I listened to all your episodes, except the most recent one. I haven't listened to that yet. So don't clock me on that.
At the time of this recording, I just published the last episode just a couple weeks ago.
No.
So, fake fan, fake friend, but it's okay. You have time.
Yeah, and I'm just hanging out, telling ghost stories, having a good time.
Yep. You and Cam have been together for many moons.
Yeah, we've been together for 6 years, and I think we've known each other for 9, almost 10. So,
Only that way.
because we dated for 3 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I knew you before I was even in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you
Before the incident.
before the
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
before the 7-year-long incident.
Good. Because I feel like I'm being awkward.
No.
Let me know, run a lab.
Guys, bear with us. I'm not gonna edit out the silence while she goes through it a lot. Let's lock in.
Lock in.
Okay, so Carli, you and Cam have been married for many moons. I've known you since you guys were dating, and I feel like we became friends pretty quickly.
We did, yeah.
We've been buddies the whole time, I feel like, and nowadays I probably talk to you more than I talk to him.
I know, because he never picks up his phone.
He never picks up his phone, or he's at work or asleep. So it's like, well, guess I'm calling Carli.
Yep.
And you're like my sister now.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
lot of, we have a great friendship, lots of love, everything
Lots
is
in
great.
common, yeah.
Yes, both a couple of silly geese.
Yes, I would say so.
Some silly geese. Okay. Anyway,
The real lock in.
guys, I promise we're locked in. Okay, so do you want to share anything else about yourself, or you want to just like dive right into it?
I mean, we can just dive right into it. I don't know what else to
No,
share
you're
about
fine. So in all of our years of being friends,
myself.
it wasn't until probably a year ago that I was able to hear your stories,
Yeah.
which is fine, but I was shocked at how many great stories you had. Not, when I say great, I mean absolutely wild stories that made me think, oh no, we're Carli. But
We trauma bonded is what you're saying.
yes, a little bit. It was literally, we were eating ice cream. You, me, and Cam and my son had met up for ice cream. We were just chitting and chatting, and we were talking about Unholy Vibes because it was still relatively new at the time. And you're like, oh, let me tell you about this. And I was just like shocked that we'd known each other for so long and had never heard this. But, that's on me for not asking. Anyway, Carli has told me these stories, and I knew that the people had to hear these stories. They're fun. They're a little spooky. We're always sharing. I say we. Carli, you're only going to share 1 or 2 today
Yeah.
out of the plethora because reasons.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And later down the line, if Carli's open to it and things are chill, then she may or may not come back to give us some more crazy tales.
Yeah. I guess it's up to your audience if they want to hear. If they're down for the spooky stuff, I have that. But if they want to hear, like, the more intense,
Very
creepy
real
stuff, very real life stuff, then I'd be happy to come back.
And
but yeah,
let
we
me
can't mess up the
clarify.
vibe of the podcast.
No. And let me clarify, guys. When we say very real life, we're meaning not supernatural, because we're here for all the spooky scaries, the supernatural, and the not. So yeah, potentially more stories to come. Anyway, Carli, you told me these stories a little while back, and I've been waiting to get you on the show. So here we are recording. Go ahead and dive right in, and we'll hear your stories, and we'll have a little chit chat. Okay. We'll discuss around it.
Okay, so I guess to start, the house that I grew up in was just insane on its own, besides the ghost stuff. But growing up there, I felt like, I don't know, we always had something going on, even if we weren't home. I would just say the house I grew up in was haunted. We moved into the house. I had just moved here from Colorado, and the house was old. So it was built like probably in the 60s or 70s. You know, it like has all the like normal things of a house, like it creaks and it's, you know, it just sounds like an old house. But on top of that, there was always like things that we couldn't really explain. My brother and I, if we were ever home alone, we would always hear doors opening and closing. We hear drawers moving, hear footsteps down the hall. And I never really thought it was like anything super intense because it never felt malicious. And I came to find out like after moving in there, I think I'd lived there a year. But the family before us, the wife had died. And it was like a really like sudden death, like they didn't know. And then the husband got married like 3 weeks after.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he moved on really quick, and it was really like everyone in the neighborhood kind of had a feeling about it. You know, like they didn't want to say anything, but they also didn't want to not acknowledge that she had passed so quickly to him getting married.
Right. It's sussy.
It's suspicious. Sussy. Yeah. So, but yeah, again, it was like a woman who had died there. So I felt like it was always a very like calm spirit, you know, it wasn't ever trying to like wreak havoc. Doors would open, things would shut and close, and it was just like normal, I guess, growing up. But yeah, I will say I did have some creepy experiences. There was one time when my brother and I were home alone because my dad had just left to go grab something, and I couldn't remember what it was. And we felt like this feeling like really heavy that were being watched, and we weren't really sure like what the feeling was. And so we started to kind of panic about it, and we're like, oh, maybe it's just because my dad left and we're home alone and we're kids. We're being dumb. Everything's scary when you're alone. We just started talking, and my brother jokingly, at the time I had a really bad fear of aliens. I don't now, but at the time I did. And so my brother started joking about aliens, and the lights started flickering.
Oh.
And I about lost my mind, and my brother thought it was so funny. And I'm calling my dad immediately. I'm like, you need to get back to the house. There's aliens here. And just like weird things like that aren't really explainable. The lights would never flicker, even though it was an old house. But it was my bedroom, so like I knew like what the lighting situation was, so it was never like flickering or having like any issues. But yeah, it was kind of bizarre. But I think the real story that is like the biggest one is hearing that spirit. There was one night when my brother and I, he's in the room right next to me. So he's in there playing video games, and it's late at night. We'd probably sit up till like 2 or 3 in the morning. I think my dad had gone to visit some family, and we were just there by ourselves. So I was redecorating my room. I had music up. I was just up late, like taking advantage of the fact that the parents are home. Right. So as I'm redecorating like a mirror I have in my room, I kept getting this like feeling that I'm being watched again. And I'm like turning around, checking to see, you know, is my brother there? Going into the other room, seeing like what he's doing. She's still playing video games. So it was kind of bizarre. And as I got closer to like 3 o'clock, I remember because it was 3 in the morning, and I was like, you know, it's always like referred to as like the witching hour or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I started to feel like more panicked and more like intense about like someone watching me. So I started like cleaning up what I was doing, putting everything away, and I go to get into bed. I turn off the light and I lay down in bed, and I just hear this breathing, like heavy breathing, like someone is gasping. And it happened like 2 or 3 times. And immediately while I'm laying in bed, I'm like, oh my gosh, is someone in my room? Or is this a ghost? I'm panicking, and I'm not going to get out of my bed because I'm worried. Like if I get out of my bed, there's going to be something there.
Right.
So luckily we had cell phones. So I call my brother, and I'm like, you need to come into my room right now. So he runs into my room, and he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, shut the door and turn off the light. And he does it. And he hears the same like breathing. And he looks like he turns the light on immediately, and he's like, we need to get upstairs now. And so he grabbed a bat, and we sprinted upstairs into my dad's room, and we locked the door because it had a lock on it. And we just slept in my dad's bed that night. Again, probably shouldn't have been left home alone, but I think we were old enough to like, you know, we're like 16. I was 16 at the time. I think my brother was 14. Yeah, but it was just like a really terrifying moment. And we didn't see anything in our room. We didn't see like any like apparitions or anything like that. It was just like so loud and so intense. And when we told my dad about it later, he was like, it's probably the neighbors pranking you. And our neighbors are our best friends, but like they wouldn't do something like that. Also, why would they be in like our backyard at 3 a.m? Do you know what I mean? Because like that's how you have to get to my room. So bizarre. And he was just like chalking it up to nothing. And it's weird because he would see like doors opening, closing, like just weird stuff happening. And he'd be like, oh, it's just the house. It's just old. So I don't know if he just like denied it or trying to make himself feel better about it. But yeah, definitely really intense.
So maybe I'm misremembering, but when you were either both in your room or both once you were upstairs in your dad's room, did you not hear more noises of like stuff moving around?
Yeah, that's a good reminder. We did hear doors opening.
Once you were in your dad's room?
Yeah, we heard like my bedroom door open. But my bedroom door also like had this problem where it was really old, so it would creak a lot. So every now and then it would make like weird noises with the wood. So I don't know if it was like the door creaking and opening, or if it was like someone opening it, or if it was like a spirit, like, I don't know, pushing open the door. It sounds crazy, but like, I feel like, yeah.
Okay. Because for some reason, I guess I just had over dramatized it in my mind of like, you guys were hiding in his room and like you heard someone moving around.
Well, yeah, we did hear like footsteps, but it wasn't like.
Well, that's his big deal.
Okay, sorry. Let me rewind. I guess it's not as a big deal to me because we would just always hear footsteps, but it was never like these footsteps didn't sound like a person. It sounded like the same ghost or whatever was in our house walking around when like no one was home, like those kind of footsteps, but it didn't sound loud like a real person's footsteps. So I'm not really sure.
But did it have like the pattern and cadence of regular footsteps? So it's like, those are footsteps, but quiet?
Yeah, yeah. And our house was, because it was so old, it was easy to break into. And there were lots of ways in to get to the house. And I considered it being a person for a little while because I was like, but why would they just like stop? You know what I mean? Like, why would they just like leave? I don't know. It was honestly really scary.
Yeah. Well, and why would a person see a house with some lights on and be like, that's the one I'm going to break into?
Yeah. And it's interesting because we had like a really bad sliding glass door that would just like open. Like you had to have like a pole in like you know what I'm talking about? Like a pole to block the door from opening.
Yeah.
So we had one of those. We had like 2 windows that didn't have screens and were just easy to open from the outside. So like someone could have gotten in, but like who would have gotten into my room when I was like in there like that whole time?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe they were in like, if it was a real person, maybe they were in a different part of the house and they were just like waiting and watching. But where my room was, it's angled. So like you basically can only see the stairs and they're not tall stairs. So I could see the door, like the front door from there. It was just a really bizarre experience. And my brother and I, we still talk about it to this day. And I think it freaks him out a lot to talk about. But yeah, we just like couldn't explain like why there was like this sudden gasping noise. And it was intense.
So did you ever hear that noise again? I mean, you kept sleeping in your room after that.
I did, but I never heard that voice again. I never heard the noise. I never felt like I was being watched. So it was really like eerie to me that it just randomly happened. I hadn't like been playing with ghosts or like a Ouija board, anything like that. It was just completely random. And that's why like it's almost a little bit scarier because if it had happened more, you would think it's the ghost.
Yeah.
But it didn't, so it could have been a person in my house or not home.
I don't like that. I don't like, well, listen, at this point, if it were me, I would have been like, I hope it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Because if it is a person, you got 2 teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
Left home alone, like figure it out, you know. I mean, you had a phone, you could have called the cops or whatever.
Well, yeah, and like,
but still.
Yeah, I think we called my dad and just like checked in, but we had like when we were running upstairs, my brother had grabbed a bat and I had gone to the kitchen and grabbed a knife, so we were prepared.
Well, and at that point,
yeah. Oh, there's the thunder.
Oh,
the spooky vibes are actually coming. We're summoning them.
Yeah, the vibes are immaculate.
Yeah.
The vibes are unholy. So you ran to the kitchen to grab a knife. Your brother's got a bat.
Yeah.
You would have seen someone.
I feel like we would have. Like, wouldn't they have followed us up the stairs? I've listened to so many true crime things, so like maybe this is my paranoia, but like wouldn't they have followed us upstairs? I don't think they would have given up if the door was locked because it would have been easily opened.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's a ghost, because I'm like, I don't know. I don't think someone would have that intentions, but also we had like prepared and we were awake And we stayed up, I think, the rest of the night until like it was daytime and we went around and like checked the house.
It's not easy to go to sleep after something so intense, I would imagine. Well, I know for a fact I've had a few things happen to me.
Yeah.
So the witching hour, you hear these noises, and I don't know if those like wheezing noises you made will come through, but if they don't, I'll make them myself and relay them on top. Anyway.
It sounded like someone gasping for air intensely. Yeah, like you had just got the wind knocked out of you, like you're gasping. Yeah.
Yeah. And was the sound coming from, and I may have just missed this detail, but was it coming from inside your room or outside your window, outside your door, under your bed? I mean, where do you think the sound was?
It honestly sounded like, I think this is the most terrifying part. And I kind of forgot about this until you asked me this question. But when I was laying down, it sounded like it was right next to me.
Oh.
Like right next to my ear. So that's why like I immediately panicked to call my brother. But when he came in, he heard it too, like really loud. So I don't know if it was under my bed, but it sounded so close to me. And we even checked like when we had gone upstairs into my dad's room, because my dad's room's right above mine. So we were even checking out into the backyard window with like a flashlight to see if there were any people around, or if like, I don't think my neighbors would pull that kind of prank on me, but we were just like checking everywhere.
Well, for them to be up at that same time too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 10 p.m. prank. That's maybe a midnight prank.
No, yeah.
But 3 a.m., that takes a little bit of dedication.
Yeah.
Not that it wouldn't have been done and couldn't be done, but that just seems less likely.
I think my dad just told us that because he was trying to like be like, it's not that big of a deal, like trying to console us. But I'm like, my neighbors would never do that. So, yeah.
So how much longer did you live in that house? You were 16 at the time.
Yeah, probably till I was like 20. So 4 more years after that.
And nothing. Besides the standard opening and closing, some rustling of drawers and cupboards.
Yeah, every now and then, I think there were 2 more experiences that were not as intense, but like still happened, which was really bizarre. I used to have this Beatles poster pinned up into the wall in my room that was like a cardboard poster.
Okay.
So it's like a big piece of like basically advertising that they had up in the mall, but I had bought that and pinned it into my wall. So it was like hanging above my bed, and I had pinned it in like pretty good. And for a few days, I had just been having this weird feeling again that I was being watched, and it flew off my wall. Like it flew off my wall onto the ground. And I'm not explaining it very well, but it was like so intense because it was in the middle of the night again around 3, and it had just flown off my wall.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like, because if it had just fallen, it would have fallen right by my bed.
Yeah.
The way my bed was set up, but it had flown off into the middle
Of the room.
of the room.
Okay.
And at that point, I was terrified, but I was also like pissed off because I'm like, if you're trying to like bother me, like I need to go to sleep. So I think I remember being like really freaked out and then turning over in my bed and being like, I'm going to bed. I'm not dealing with this right now. Like I put the blankets over me. I was just like, tonight's not the night. But yeah, like stuff like that would happen all the time. Like things would be rearranged or moved or just weird. It makes me sound crazy. And maybe it was me moving them. Who knows? But
I didn't know that was a possibility. Okay. Why do you think that it would have been you?
I mean, like, not like that I'm moving them at night, like in my sleep, but like maybe I'm forgetting that I'm moving something, you know?
Oh, like I said,
like I have a short
down.
attention span. I don't know that you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, oh, I set this down here and I forgot I left it there kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or
But
I
it
moved it
still
without
doesn't explain the doors opening,
No.
drawers in the kitchen, cabinets opening,
Right.
stuff like that. So
Or the poster flying off your wall, because the way you're making it sound, it had some weight to it. If it was just a thin paper, it would have like, whoosh, 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 and kind of like,
No.
even then, with nothing blowing on it, it would have probably just fallen straight down,
yeah. And
regardless of the thickness and weight thereof.
yeah.
But to fly into the middle of your room, yeah. So it was definitely haunted, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what it was because I felt like whatever spirit, like the lady who had passed away there, it felt peaceful. But every now and then I would just get this horrible feeling. Like, and it was always at night. And I'm like, maybe I was just overwhelmed. Maybe it was anxiety, but it was pretty intense.
Did you ever, I'm trying to
Jog my memory.
jog your memory a
I
little
know, I
bit,
should have
because
wrote more down.
no, you're fine, because you may not think of something that I'm like the footsteps thing. You're like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, that, you know. Did you ever in your entire time living in that home see anything? Any sort of figure apparition or maybe just a little shadow that wasn't right or something like that?
Yeah, I would see not a very like detailed apparition, more like a shadow. Every now and then I would wake up in the middle of the night and it would just be like standing in my doorway. And it got to the point where like I started shutting my door because I would see this shadow in the middle of the night just standing in my doorway. And like I knew it wasn't a person. Like I knew it wasn't anyone in my family. Like I would get up and like, walk just to like check to see if anyone had gotten up to like, scare me. But no, it was always just like this weird, very, very tall apparition. It's just in my room. And I feel like maybe that's sleep paralysis. Who knows?
Well, the
But
fact, hold on real quick, sorry.
yeah.
The fact that you could get up and go check makes me think it wasn't sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
If you can get up and move around.
I did check one time. Most of the time I was too scared, but I think I had to like do it for myself just to be like, is this actually happening or am I just like losing my mind?
Right.
And that same, like, I guess I should tell you this story too, because this is about your mom's Reiki. So this is the story I guess I haven't told you, but that same apparition or whatever would follow me from place to place, living in different apartments. And again, it would always be in my doorway. So when I had moved to Vineyard with some friends, they wanted to leave the door open at night because it was really hot and we were on the 3rd floor. And again, I would see it in the doorway. So I'd always get up and shut the door. And then, of course, that's causing problems with my roommates. But I'm like, it would just always stand and stare. When I moved into our first apartment, like after Cameron and I had got married, it would stand in the doorway again. And I started to think for a minute, I'm like, I must have sleep paralysis. But I never felt like I couldn't move. I mean, like I would feel very fearful, but I wouldn't feel like I couldn't move or... And sometimes I would just have to ignore it and like literally turn around and be like, I'm going to sleep. Like, I don't know what that is. I don't want to deal with it right now. Say a little prayer if I'm feeling really scared, which, is big for me. Just stop laughing.
Continue.
But yeah, so when we moved in here to this complex, again, I was seeing it still. And I didn't want to go into too much detail, like, of what was going on because I didn't want to sound crazy or like schizophrenic. But I'm like, at this point, it stopped being as scary to me, and it just started being like, oh, it's here today. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's a man. I don't know, but it would just be there. Typically, it wasn't waking me up every night, like the spirit wasn't, but it was always like random, and it would just show up, and then it would be there. And so it kind of stopped scaring me after a while to the point where I'd be like, okay, it's here, but like, I want to go back to sleep. So I would like do the same thing that I did when I had like the Beatles poster fly off into the middle of my room. I would just be like, okay, not right now. Like, I don't know what this is.
More of a nuisance than a fear now.
Yeah. And like, it always made me feel fearful, but like, I'd almost gotten used to it.
Yeah.
And I really thought like, I'm like, I am crazy. Like, I sound crazy. Maybe I do have sleep paralysis, who knows? But I went to see your mom because your mom talked about like kind of what a Reiki session was and how it like cleanses bad spirits and...
She does.
Yeah. How would you explain that? Yeah.
So we've discussed it a little bit. I mean, my mom does energy work.
Yes, yeah.
She does aroma touch therapy. She does Reiki, light work. She does all sorts of stuff like that. And so she will do, it's like Reiki plus. There's another name for it, but it's like light work, energy work, whatever.
She works with like crystals too.
Yeah, she's the witch of Wickenburg. She's witchy. Yeah. We knew it all along. She's very in tune and in touch with her, they call it a divine source. That's what that's her God, universe, divine source, whatever. Mm-hmm. Right. And if you've listened to the show, which a lot of you have, obviously, you're here. We did an episode with a woman named Denise who had visited my mom for something very similar with an attachment. And Colleen, my mom, was able to help that thing let go.
Yeah.
So she tells it to leave, to go, whatever. I'm not exactly sure the exact wording, but yes. So light work, energy work, Reiki, things like that. And so she does sessions for people who are in need. and you and Cam had come to visit.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I think we had talked about it before, because when Denise came on the podcast, I was like, Alex, this has been happening to me, but I didn't know how to put it to words, because it was like almost like I didn't like think about it until she was like, yeah, this energy has been following me around for a long time.
Yeah.
And so it kind of put it to words to me where I'm like, oh, I'm having the same issue, but I just didn't know if I was just like being haunted or like just something was happening that I had like triggered a spirit to like come into my life. Yeah.
Latch onto you. And I wasn't living in Arizona at the time. We had come from here and gone down there to just kind of hang out and have a fun week.
Yeah, because I think
friends.
we hadn't seen you in a while. I remember because I called you after Denise's episode, and we talked on the phone, and I said, Alex, I'm having a similar experience.
Right.
And I was like, can I come see your mom? Because you were already going to go down there.
Yeah.
So I think you ended up inviting us to go for like a vacation.
It was Easter or something.
It was Easter, yeah. And you were like, yeah, you can come see her.
Yeah. And we had planned to go down. So, because we have friends down there too in Arizona. And so we were like multiple birds with one stone. Let's just go have a good time. And also you can go have a little session with my mother.
Yeah. So when I got down there to like your place when we were staying there and I met your mom, we just kind of started talking, but she knew that I wanted to have a Reiki session. I didn't tell her why though, because I didn't want to freak her out, but I also was just like, it was kind of just for me. I didn't want to sound like insane. So I like had a hard time telling people, and I really only think like the two people I told were you and Cameron. But I kind of discussed with her why I wanted to do an energy session. I said, I think it'd be good for me to have like some healing, and I didn't really tell her what was going on. And when we went down to her shop, she picked out like some crystals and stuff, and she's like, these are going to help. But when she started the session, I just immediately started to feel so much lighter. And it was really weird because I didn't really believe in Reiki until I was like, I'm going to go see your mom. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
But it changed. Like, I felt so much lighter and I started to feel better. And at the end of the session, she was like, you had a lot of heaviness, like a lot of dark spirits. And she didn't really elaborate on that. And I didn't ask either because I knew what it was. It was amazing that she just knew that from doing the session without me telling her. Yeah, but after that, I never saw the spirit again. I still to this day have not seen it in my doorway, thank goodness. So I honestly feel like whatever it was, it really worked and it let go. And that's kind of what the whole session was about like telling the spirit it's okay to go, you know? Yeah.
That's been almost 2 years, give or take.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. I have not seen it. Haven't had any weird things happen, so I'm good.
So something worked.
Even if it wasn't real, like, I always like, because people are always so skeptical, but I'm like, if it wasn't real, it worked for me. So whatever it was, like, I'm going to recommend it to people.
Yeah. It's funny because
not to plug your mom's shop, but I also love your
That's
mom.
all we do. That's all we do. We love my mom. She's great.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone recently about my mom. Am I a mama's boy? Yes. I brought this up and how we got onto Reiki. And the person I was talking to was like, okay, it's crazy you say that because I had some Reiki done and it really worked for me.
It really did. I felt like lighter. I felt happier. And when I came back to Utah, I was just feeling so much better about the whole situation. Like, yeah, there was a spirit attached to me, but, it needed to be attached to me so that I could like let it go. Like having that kind of internal.
As Denise had mentioned, maybe it needed to attach to me so I could lead it back here and Colleen could help it go away or something or help it move on. I don't know. I mean,
who knows what
who knows? And I'm skeptical while also being a believer. I have to be skeptical in some ways.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm even skeptical even though I've experienced this because I'm like, how much of it is my own fear versus what's actually going on?
Yeah. Could it be just psychological suggestion? I mean, who knows? But like you said, it worked. So why bother breaking it down?
No. And I honestly would do it again. Like, it was weird how much was like taken off of me. Like, I felt lighter.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you guys were gone for a while too. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you were gone for like hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I want to say it was like.
Yeah, it had to have been because it was a long.
And when you came back, this is from my POV, you were like, yeah, it was good. Like, you didn't really dive into it until way later.
I think I was just processing it.
Yeah.
And I, again, didn't want to freak your mom out. And I didn't want to freak you out either. So I was like, I just need to think about it for a little bit. And I know I never told you that story till now, but yeah, that's what happened. And honestly, it's helped. So
Yeah. So since then, you've been in the free and clear. And now we know if you have any dark attachments or maybe some traumas or anything that manifests in a way that makes you feel fearful, you can go to Colleen in Wickenburg at Balanced Life. The Balanced Life
could
shop.
not recommend enough.
Yeah.
She's the best.
10 out of 10 would go again. Okay, well, excellent. So why do you think this spirit followed you from place to place? And you don't have to get into the thick of things if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But just off the dome, why do you think it stayed with you and followed you?
I think it's hard to say because it didn't always feel like malicious or scary unless it was like nighttime. I would just wake up with like this fear. But honestly, I'm not sure why it attached to me because when I was growing up in that house, I was Mormon and I was like very devout. So anytime I felt fearful, I would pray or I would kind of think about that kind of stuff. So it would ease my fear about the spirit following me. But yeah, as I like left the house, it was just following me everywhere. It was always really, really tall, like taller than the doorway. And yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't know if it's like they knew someone in my family or my dad always used to say that my grandma was a witch. So I don't know if that's like his fear of like where he grew up. He would always say that my grandma was a witch. So I never saw that she was a witch. Who knows? It could just be a spirit from that. But I honestly just feel like whatever it was, like attached itself to me and just would follow me. I don't know if it's trying to protect me. It's hard to tell. Like it felt like a lot of things. Yeah.
But being rid of it, you feel better overall.
Yeah, I feel a lot better. I think I feel better knowing that it's like at peace, at rest, whatever it was. Yeah. And I have felt so much better, like especially sleeping at night. Like I have not seen it. I haven't had any like weird interactions. Yeah.
Good.
Why do you think it attached itself to me?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna get real,
and you can cut this out, but genuinely,
I mean, it could have been a manifestation of trauma.
Yeah. I know. It could have been that.
A lot of negative energy.
Yeah.
That just kind of formed, or it could have been a multitude of spirits related to the trauma. I mean, there's a lot of shit that went on.
Yeah.
And so all that negative energy, it could have drawn something. I mean, you've done more than just Reiki healing. You've healed in multiple ways from then to now. Yeah. Exactly. Therapy, all of that.
Doing all that, yeah.
I mean, all of that combined just makes you more light and like spiritually light. You know what I mean? I don't know. I want to say, I mean, the house is old. The house is old. And I've said it before, anything pre-70s is haunted. It just is. The older you get, the likelihood goes up. Time keeps moving forward. Some things are just getting older, you know? And I mean, everything is. But I think there's just a higher likelihood of, well, someone died there, right? That lady died there. Yeah. Did she die in the house? I don't know.
She died in the house in the main room. Like
okay.
I guess the main bedroom is where she passed away. The master bedroom.
So someone dies there. That can, I mean, if it was a suspicious way, maybe that left some energy behind, you know? Yeah. Someone dying there, plus if there was any chaos or, you know, if there was tumultuous vibes in the house in general,
that would be the name of my podcast.
Tumultuous vibes. You could be the spin-off. Yeah. I just think a lot of things can stack up and compound into this crazy energy that all of a sudden is like, hey, following you around.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you for 20 years, 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not doing it anymore, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you remember you want to throw in there for the peeps to hear?
No, that's basically it, but I wouldn't mind coming back. But yeah, I just...
Carli has more to share, just not now.
Yeah.
So in the future, maybe season 4, who knows? Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully have Carli back on to tell some more stories that are a little more grounded in our physical reality.
Yeah.
That are a little crazy. So I think these stories are wonderful. I think the people will like them. So that's good. If there's nothing else, do you want to like plug your socials or anything?
Yeah, you can follow me at Carli Collins on social media. The only app I really post on is TikTok. So, I mean, if you want to follow me there,
Yes, she's got a great TikTok account.
it's me doing stupid things on video and then posting it to the internet. So, if you're down for that kind of vibe,
Hey, listen, there's something for everyone.
yeah, I don't do
Yeah,
it a lot.
I'll tag Carly's TikTok in the description as well. So feel free to follow her. We might do a joint TikTok live someday just for
Yes,
fun. So
yeah,
look out for that. But yeah, if there's nothing else, I don't have any other questions. I hope that I asked enough. And that's,
And I hope I was clear enough
you know
during
what?
the storytelling, because I feel like
Yeah, I think it's
everywhere.
fun. It was both fun. Listen, everyone, thank you for listening. If you have any questions for me or for Carly, reach out. You can email unholyvibespod@gmail.com. You can also DM me on Instagram or TikTok at unholyvibespod on both platforms. If you have any stories, reach out. I want more. I always want more. I want to hear your spooky stories, something that's happened to you, whether it's paranormal or not. Reach out. We need it. We want to keep this going. So, season 3 of Unholy Vibes off to a good start with our dear friend Carly. Carly, thank you so much for coming
Thank you
on the
for
show.
having me. I am a fan.
True.
I'm a big supporter, so thank you.
Indeed she is. So thank you, everyone. And then be sure to share this with anyone else that you think might be into some spooky stories. I'd love for Unholy Vibes to keep growing. And for that to happen, I need your help. So like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever it is,
360 no scope the like button, please.
Yeah, 360 like fine.
Chat, if you could 360 no scope the like button.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Guys, you're all wonderful. Thank you all for listening. I look forward to hearing from you, hearing what stories you have. I'd love to have any of you on the show if you got a good story to tell. So for now, stay spooky, and we'll see you next time.